You know this kind of suffering. Not the dramatic kind. Not breakdowns. Not chaos. The quiet kind. The kind you carry while pretending everything is fine. Scrolling your phone even though your mind feels empty. Laughing at jokes you don't feel. Saying, "I'm good," while something inside you is slowly shutting down. This suffering doesn't look dangerous. That's why it survives. Most people think suffering means falling apart. But the kind that destroys men the most is the kind they learn to function inside. You wake up. You move. You perform. And you tell yourself this is just what life feels like. But it isn't. Here's the truth most people never hear. You're not suffering because you're weak. You're suffering because you've been ignoring your internal warning system for too long. Your body is not a machine. It's a signal system. And it always speaks before it breaks. It starts small. A tight chest. A dull headache that never fully leaves. Fatigue that sleep doesn't fix. Losing interest in things that used to matter. These aren't flaws. They're warnings. But because they don't stop you immediately, you dismiss them. You tell yourself to push through. You compare yourself to others who seem fine. So you override the signal and keep moving. And this is where the cycle begins. You think perseverance is strength. But sometimes perseverance becomes self-abandonment. You wake up already exhausted, already behind, already carrying pressure you never acknowledged. You tell yourself, just a little longer. Just get through this. It'll pay off eventually. But what if it doesn't? What if every step you take in the same direction is pulling you further away from yourself? You're not burnt out because you can't handle life. You're burnt out because your brain is accurately responding to a reality that never lets you rest. Neuroscience shows that under chronic stress, the brain doesn't collapse, it conserves. It shuts down what isn't necessary for survival. Joy, curiosity, creativity, desire. This is why you feel numb instead of emotional, flat instead of sad, disconnected instead of broken. This is not failure. This is survival mode. And survival mode is expensive. Over time, pushing without listening creates something dangerous. You start functioning without feeling, showing up without being present, living without being connected. That's when suffering becomes invisible even to you. So why do people stay stuck here? Because the cycle feels familiar. You stay busy because slowing down means facing what you've avoided. You overthink instead of feeling. You replay worst-case scenarios without ever soothing yourself. Maybe you've always been the strong one, the reliable one, the one who doesn't crack. So stopping feels like betrayal. Rest feels like failure. Silence feels unsafe. Or maybe stress is all you've ever known. Peace feels suspicious. Calm feels unfamiliar. So you keep fighting even when there's nothing left to fight. Understand this clearly. Your suffering is not a personal flaw. It's a learned survival pattern. And patterns can be interrupted. Healing doesn't require destroying your life and starting over. It requires reconnection. Small, controlled shifts, not emotional overhauls. Start here. At the beginning of the day, pause for 10 seconds. Ask, what state am I actually in? Not what you should feel. What you actually feel. When your body signals fatigue, respond even briefly. 5 minutes of rest. 1 deep breath. 1 pause instead of 1 more push. Your nervous system relearns safety through response, not force. Do one thing daily that brings you back into your body. A walk. A stretch. A moment of stillness without stimulation. Set boundaries that protect your energy, not your image. You are not responsible for how others react to your limits. Reduce one source of pressure instead of trying to fix everything. Relief creates momentum. And finally, don't isolate completely. Connection regulates the nervous system. Isolation intensifies distortion. This isn't about becoming softer. It's about becoming aware. Because awareness is control. The moment you understand what your suffering is trying to tell you, is the moment it loses its power over you. So ask yourself this. What part of you has been warning you quietly, and how long have you ignored it? If this resonated, you already know why you're here. Subscribe to The Unknown Mastering. No noise, no hype, just clarity. We'll continue.